Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. This is episode 43, and I'm excited about this episode because we're going to talk about how to guarantee increase. Yes, that's right. We're going to talk about how to guarantee increase. And hey, that's a pretty bold statement, but hey, let me back it up. So check this out, guys. You got to be more valuable. You bring more value and they got to pay you. Be so good that they have to pay you because you're different than everything else out there, right? And so enlarge yourself. Once you enlarge yourself, then you internally get to enlarge other people because you made them better, right? I mean, think about it. If you have two different products and one of them is more expensive, but you know what kind of excellence you're gonna get, you know what kind of quality you're gonna get, the value is totally there. You don't mind paying a little bit more because you know that you're going to get a type A product. And so same thing, if you think about the phrase one man's junk is another man's treasure. Think about a house. You want to get rid of the house. It's a piece of junk to you. But that's because maybe you don't have the skill set or the concept or even the money to bring the value to that house. But then another one comes by and they're like, look, I'm sold. I want this house, right? Because they're already looking around at the house and they're saying, look, we're gonna pull these floors up, we're gonna paint these rooms, we're gonna change the face here, we're gonna add some slider doors here, we're gonna put some elegant chandeliers here in the ceiling. They're gonna completely transform the house. My wife likes to look at those HGTV shows. I like to look at them every now and then as well, but she loves them. And it's because, I think we all like to see the before and the after uh, product, right? We like to see what did it look like before and wow, how did you get it to look so good in the end? And it's because of value, right? It's because you understand and you have the skill set to make it more valuable, right? Now, that's the whole thing. You have to increase your skill sets, you have to increase your value. So, hey, take that course, get the certification, take that class, do whatever it takes for you to become so valuable that they have to pay you, right? And of course, we talk about entrepreneurship here on this podcast, but even if you're still at that corporate job and you haven't quite moved into your full entrepreneurship yet, you can be more valuable at the job. You can increase your pay because what if you get there before everyone else gets there and stay later than everybody else? What if you put yourself in a position where when you're on that project it just soars, right? When you're a part of that team, everything is different. Does that make sense? Like you actually bring the value. If you weren't there, people wouldn't know what to do because of how much you can put into it, but how much knowledge and how much skill that you can add to it that it's like, wow, we don't know what we do without you, right? Like when you're there, you just make it better. But if you're not there, it doesn't really do well, right? So you think about like a sports team, like an NFL team, NBA team, they look at the coach each year and they say, wait, can this coach deliver the goods? Can this coach bring us a championship? Right. And it's always a coach because leadership is everything. And when that coach has certain skill sets, or they know how to win, they enlarge themselves, they enlarge other players around them, right? So that's what you want to make sure that you do. You've heard me say this on several episodes, but when you get better, everything around you gets better. That's kind of like one of the themes of Code Freedom is getting better, right? Adding value, being a person of excellence, being a product or a service of excellence. Can you bring the goods, right? Um, Again, be so good that they have to pay you, but also be so good that they have to pay you more because you're just you stand out. You're just different. You're just better, right? People will always move toward anyone who increases them. I'll say that again. People will always move toward anyone, and I'll add, or anything that increases them. So if your book is going to make my life better because I read something in it that literally could shift the trajectory of my life, wow. How many people are gonna want to get that book, right? Or if you are that person, like every time you're around, my life is better because I get to witness you and see and observe how you do things, and I've never seen anyone else do it that way, right? So now you become more valuable to me because I'm able to grow from you. Does that make sense? So so those are things to consider. Like, what am I bringing to the table? You always want to bring contribution, no matter where you are, right? Bring contribution to the relationship. Be so good that the spouse doesn't want to be with anybody else, right? Like, oh my God, no one can do it. Do no one can provide what you provide in my life, if that makes sense, right? So so be that person. Be that person, but you have to develop yourself. You have to get better. You have to you separate yourself. You're better than the competition. There is no competition. I'm talking I'm using this in relationship. I'm using this in business. I'm using this in entrepreneurship. I'm even using this at your job. But the point is you enlarge yourself in such a way where you can command your price. You can command what you're worth because of who you become, right? So that's key, guys. That is the key to making it where it's a guarantee. Because if you are not there, man, it falls apart. If you're not there, what are we gonna do? Now, I will say this, and you want to be mindful that you can cause change to an organization. You can cause change to a point where you don't want to just be the Michael Jordan at your job or in the situation, because if you're not there, then perhaps the income stops, right? So we talk about passive income a lot on this podcast as well, and so that's why you want to also be good at having systems in place where the show can still go on without you. But what I mean is, as a whole, you still your company, your product, your service, your organization is the best there is, and you've developed that into a system to where I'll give you a good example. Chick-fil-A, you know, I gotta tell you, I love Chick-fil-A, but let me just say this. They they're the fastest, like, if you're gonna eat fast food, they're one of the fastest fast food companies out there. I try not to eat a lot of fast food, but if you're gonna go to a Chick-fil-A, just think about the quality of service though, right? The way the customer service, you're always gonna get a "my pleasure," right, from the person that's serving you. And the way the speed, the customer service is just hands down, it's impeccable when it relates to other fast food companies. Hence, they always are packed at lunchtime. Like every Chick-fil-A around the country, you'll never find a Chick-fil-A that you don't have to really spend a little bit of time and get through. The cars are just going to be there, right? But the cool thing about it is they get through each of the cars so much faster than other fast food companies because they're mindful of their systems and the companies. What makes you stand apart to where it's like, man, I got to have this person. I got to have this company, this product, this service. You can command that based on the value that you bring to a person, to a situation, to an organization, to a team, to a project. That's what we're talking about here today. And when you do that, you guarantee your income, and you guarantee your increase, I should say, because you are now more valuable. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you got some value from this episode. There goes that word value again. And that is my aim, is to always bring excellence and value to you so that, hey, this podcast could stand out from any other podcast that you might listen to. And you may hear some concepts and some ideas that you may resonate with that could literally shift the trajectory of your life. And that's what we want to do for you. And so we appreciate you once again. Thanks for tuning in. God bless. And we'll see you all over the top. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.